Hey guys, Paul here. Welcome back to the channel. So previously I showed you the installation for the regular swivel mount that you can put on your Model Y Juniper, so you can adjust the display to up, down, or left or right. But in today's video, there's something new that I want to share with you. This is a power swivel mount, a power rotating adjustable mount that you can actually adjust your display, your main display, to turn to the driver's side by just pop this armrest twice, then it will turn to the driver's side by itself, and then you just pop again twice, it will just recenter back in the middle. Or you can just get in the car, sit on the driver's seat, and it will turn to the driver's side, and then when you leave the car it will turn back in the middle by itself. So in today's video I'll share with you what comes in the package, and then step-by-step installation of this power swivel mount, and then we'll test and see how it works in the new Model Y Juniper. Now let's go. Let's see what comes in the package of the power swivel mount for the new Model Y Juniper. Here what came in the package. Let's take a closer look at the wire harness first. So because it's power, so you will need a power from the car to make the display rotate. So you have a rear center console that will connect to the car. There's support there in the new car too. I'll show you later in the installation video. And this is for the opening and closing the armrest storage space to control the display. And this side is for driver occupancy sensor, so it detects when you sit and leave the car. And this is the plug for the control box, which is this one right here. And this is the plug for the rotating motor, this one right over here. So this is the power rotating mechanism for the display. And all of the plastic cover pieces, plastic caps, and 2 bolts. And now let me show you where to get this new power swivel mount for Model Y Juniper. You can get the power swivel mount for Model Y Juniper from Hancho or Hancho.com. As you can see here, you can pick between the new Model Y Juniper and Model 3 Highland, or the older Model Y and older Model 3. I'm not sure this would be compatible with the new Model Y, the new build with 16-inch display, but if the mount in the back is the same, I believe it would be compatible. And if you are interested, you can use my special discount code DTC for extra 20% off, and this is the price after the discount. Right now let's go and install it in Model Y Juniper. Now let's start with the installation. You would need a trim removal tool, a plastic one, small one, and the big one too if you have them, and also 10mm socket wrench. This will help a lot. And before we start, let's turn off the car first. So go to the main menu, and then safety, scroll all the way down, power off, because we will have to remove the actual display and unplug it. Right now that's the power, it's off. First we have to remove this grill on the bottom of the display right here, this one. So we use this small plastic removal tool to remove it. There's a little space here, just push it in and then try to pull it out like so. Now this whole panel is removed, so we have to unplug this sensor. There you go. So now the sensor is unplugged. We have to relocate the sensor. There are 2 T20 torque screws that attach to the sensor, so you need the T20 torque bit to remove and unscrew it. After it is removed, you will need to relocate it on the new cover. So just relocate it right here and then screw it back in on the new cover. And the next step here, you will need 10 mils socket wrench to help removing the actual display. So there are 2 bolts right here, 1 and 2. So you use this to unscrew it. There you go. After the 2 bolts are removed, you should be able to remove the display, but not entirely just yet. After the display is removed, there are 2 more screws that you have to remove. Right there, 1 and 2. These are 2 T27 torque screws, so you will need T27 torque bit to remove it. After those 2 screws, you should be able to remove this plastic bracket over here. Now we would have to unplug the display entirely. So these 2 plugs need to be unplugged. First, let's unplug this one first, the gray one. There we go. That's the power, and this is the data. So for the data, I have to remove this little locking bracket first. Then just remove the data cable. There you go. The whole display is actually entirely detached. And now we can remove the original plastic cover here, because we have to replace with a new one. And next step here, use the plastic cover, this one, to cover the bracket itself, the motorized bracket. This direction. Make sure the cable coming through the cutout, so this will help manage the cable too and protect the motor. And then just pop it in. And the next step here, use this plug right here from the wire harness, just one, and then thread it through here. So you don't really need the fishing line, plastic fishing wire at all. So just try to move this. You can see I can even put my finger in there and then push it in, and then just thread this inside. There you go. Now make sure this is in. Just pull in enough so it can connect to the motor. Now we just have to put all the wiring on the driver's side, like so, and then just hide the cable through here, right here. And now you're good on this part. Now the next one is this panel right here. So we relocated that sensor, remember? Now we have to plug it in. So we have to thread this cable first through the cover, and now we have to plug in this one back in, the sensor connector, connect that back in, and then this have to connect to the motor. And then now we have to thread this the whole display wiring through the middle, through the cover, like so. And let me place this in here real quick. Now we have to plug this in to the motor. So the motor would face this way. So this will be plugged in and then connected. You see, it's the right way, like so. Now it's connected. Here we go. Now this is how it would face. And then you would have to, let me show you real quick before we put the cover in. So this will go in here instead of to replace that original one from the display, right? So this will go in, but underneath the cover. I just want to show you before I put in underneath the cover, and then you just put these 2 screws, the original one, back in here to lock in place. Now I just have to put it back underneath the cover and then put in the same direction. Alright, so push this in all the way in and place it in. Make sure these 2 cables that will be connecting to the display are out. Now use the original bolt to lock the main bracket in place. And next step here, just use the new plastic bracket cover or the display cover in the back to place it like so, and then use the original 2 T27 torque screw to screw it back in. And the next step here, you just plug everything back in. Make sure you have to lift the display up and then plug it back in. Next, you just have to place the display into the new bracket and then use the new 2 screws that came with the package, the longer one, to lock it in place. And now we just have to put the 2 plastic cap to cover the screw. Now we are done with that mount installation. Next step here, we have to run the cable, the whole wire harness, from this point, as you can see here, all the way to the back center console. So you can either pull this panel on the side right here, and then just make it super clean and hide it on the inside. But since I have this little protection panels here, I'm just gonna hide it in here. I think it's thin enough to have it hide underneath, and then run it to the back and on the side of the seat. As you can see here, I can't even see the cable anymore, and I can still put this back in because it's Velcro on the top, no Velcro in the middle, so that can hide the cable for me. So it's much easier for me to do it. Now we have to run the cable back in here. Before we go back there, okay, this one of the cable, or one of the connector that I mentioned before, that was for, I believe, the driver occupancy sensor underneath the seat, but I somehow couldn't find it. They gave me a direction to find it. I think maybe China car and European car is different from US. You might be able to find it. Let me show you where it is. Here is where the seat occupancy sensor is supposed to be, just right underneath your seat, off to the left or either right. As you can see here, you can just unplug it and then plug it in the pass-through from the wire harness. But my car doesn't have any. I couldn't find any down here. Only the cable for, I think, for the ventilation, and then that's it. And for the motor, which has nothing to do with the seat occupancy sensor. So for that being said, I'll just connect to the power in the back, and then the sensor for the armrest. So at least I be able to control the display using the armrest. I'll show you later how in the video. Now let's connect the back panel. Alright, after you run the cable to the back, first remove this panel right here. This one big panel right underneath the rear display. You don't need anything. Maybe a trim removal tool like this to pop it open, like so. As you can see, all clips, no screw at all. This whole panel was just removed. Now you have access to this OBD port. Before we do that, you have to pop this panel open. Again, all clips to here on this panel, just enough that we can access another connector. Now we have to separate the cables here. So the 2 would go on this side, and the middle center console is this one, the OBD, and this one right here, I believe, is the one with 3 cable, and the one with yellow and white on mine. And this will connect to the sensor for the armrest, open and close. This one is for the control box and the seat occupancy sensor, which I can't find in my car, so I can't connect that. So I need to connect the box. But first, let's connect this one, and then we'll find the connector for this sensor right here. So the middle OBD port, you just have to unplug it and then plug it into the one from the package, and on the other end just plug it back in to the one from the car, and that's it. You just have to manage the cable a little bit so you will be able to put that panel back in. Now the next one is a little tricky to find. After you remove this side panel, you'll see this one right here. As you can see with the red and blue cable right there, you just need to unplug it from the inside. So it's a little tricky, but you can kind of use the tool to help to unplug it. Let me show you after it's unplugged. So now it is unplugged. You just plug it in to the one from the wire harness, and then use the one from wire harness, plug it back in to the same connector that you unplug it from. So these two connectors are done. Now we just have to plug in this one to the control box that came in the package. This one right here. And I just plug it in. As you can see, it's blinking green right now. Looks good. This means it should be working. Alright, now we just have to hide everything and then put all the panels in the back in place. Now the installation is done. Let's test it out. So normally if I would connect the sensor underneath the seat or the occupancy sensor underneath the seat, when I first get in and sit on the seat, on the driver's seat, then the display would just turn to me by itself. But because I couldn't find that connection or the connector underneath the US made Model Y Juniper, I don't have that function. Now you only have the function of it's still power though. So if I use, remember I connected the sensor for the armrest right here. So if I open and close the armrest twice, then the display will turn to my direction, as you can see here. And same thing here, if I pop it twice again, then it will turn back in the middle. But I still can manually adjust the display either to the driver's side, as you can see here, or the passenger side. Or I can also manually adjust up or down, and it'll stay that way. So I can adjust a little up if I think the display is too straight. And of course, that function still works with the display adjusted up or down. Same thing here, pop this twice, then it'll come back to the center. So I like it a lot. It's really convenient when I drive. Let's say I drive by myself, no one needs to see the display at all, just me, and I just have to do this. I don't have to manually adjust it, and then it will just turn to a perfect position for a driver. This is really cool option to have. I can pop it back in again. This is really nice. And of course, you know, if my passenger wants her display, she can just manually adjust it to her side. With the display turning to the driver, I think it's so much more convenience for me, so much more practical for me to use the display while I drive the car and still can focus on the road, because it feels like closer when it angles to you. And you know, when you want to turn, let's say a temperature, things like that, that you need to actually move your eyes a little bit to look at it, it's much closer than the display, you know, the display being straight in the middle. Alright, so now we know that it works great. It works every time, no issue at all. I think it sits a tiny bit lower. I'm not 100% sure. It sits a tiny bit lower than the original one, and it's like stick out a little bit more too, as you can see after the installation, but nothing major, and it still works great. And I love how, you know, it's of course turned to driver by itself and then turn back by itself. You don't have to like manually adjust it. What I love more about it, because it still has that, you know, up and down tilting function in the power version 2. And that's it for the power rotating display in the new Model Y Juniper. Let me know in the comment down below what you think about this power rotating display. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be to get the power for the swivel mount function on the display. Only one missing, as I mentioned before, the sensor underneath the driver's seat. I couldn't find that connector. Let me know in the comments if you know where that connector is, if there's any connector at all for the US made Model Y Juniper. And I'll make sure to put the link of this new power swivel mount for the new Model Y Juniper in the description down below, and special discount code for you too. Thank you so much guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to click like if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome contents like this. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down.